some of them entail all of the satellite channels, all at the same time. It'll be a short and brief appearance, and it will be announced for what it is and what everyone is to do. Not everybody's going to be contacted, and not everybody's going to be contacted even down the road, necessarily. Those people who are in a tactical position to be able to assume a position quickly probably will be contacted. This is usually the way those things are handled. So, this is the readiness. And I've already asked some militias to go out and start looking, keeping an eye on things in different places. I mean, pick a bridge, cell phone tower, whatever. Keep an eye on it. Make sure no idiot goes and messes it up. The other part of this is that the military then, when we're given green light, will work in conjunction with us in order to make sure that nobody can get away and that everybody is attended to. We are not to summarily walk up and execute anybody, period. This is to be a peaceful collection, so to speak. The idea behind this is that, first of all, that's the sort of thing they do, not the sort of thing we do. This does not mean that you might not have the opportunity to be on their firing squad, depending on whether or not that's the case. These things will be decided. I expect a fair amount, quite a few executions personally, knowing some of the crimes that have been committed. Now, there is a list. And this list consists of a combination of both those who will be arrested and those who will not, and the reason why. It'll either prefer charges or explain that this person was not involved in, no matter how funny it might look that they were partners with somebody, they were in another part of the world when this idiot did such and such. This can make a difference. And I'm not going to say this is a perfect system. Some people might slip through. They will be easily recognized as we go through this. Part of what ET does is keep an eye on these people. So not only do they know where they're at, but they also track their bank accounts, the games they play and wherever they play them, and what they're doing about different things. In terms of the involvement, people have heard of the Bilderbergers, they've heard of the Illuminati, they've heard a lot of things. Now, one of the things that's going on that people are not aware of, I think everybody knows about Iceland and the fact that they decided to clean house. What people don't know is that the same type of operation from the people, by the people, for the people is taking place in a place called Southeast Asia, to include a place I served in the service called Vietnam. They are giving them a choice: get on the boat or be executed. The boat takes them out to a certain place and they are incarcerated, as I understand it, or they're allowed to flee as quickly as possible. Yes, you can wear your underwear and your clothes, and let's see how fast you can run, fat boy, kind of thing. This is not nice. Several countries, strategic countries, have begun to understand what's going on and have sided with us in the intent and purpose of all this. There are still a couple of ifs, but they're not extraordinary. That means that there are some countries that haven't fully decided yet that what we got in mind might be a good deal for them too. Most of everything that everybody's familiar with, in terms of governmental structure and things you've been familiar with, are going to change. Now, that does not necessarily mean you're going to be cut off and left to figure out how to feed yourself. It does not mean that the lights are going out or any of that other happy stuff. You got a lot of fear porn and a lot of fear pornographers. Ooh, the world's coming to an end. Oh, if everything goes down, then you're going to be screwed because you don't have any money. Well, what you have to understand is that, and I've had this explained to me in depth by a couple of people, what people don't understand is that the United States is an interesting entity as it exists presently. As it exists presently, it's an international conglomeration of different things that all are international only. This includes you don't own your property, you don't own your car. This includes the funny money that they call Federal Reserve notes. That's an international currency. We do not presently have a lawful, legal currency in this country. That can only come from our Treasury. I want everybody to really think about that. So, until we change some things, and I mean monumental changes, we got a mess to deal with. First way to take care of that is to cut all ties with the corporate entities that have been controlling us. There was a project that was completed by individual representatives of individual states declaring, that's all they did, declaration, declaring the individual's freedom from such a system. These people took it upon themselves to represent individual states. No, it don't cover everybody. No, it was not a majority of people in the states involved. What it was a few people who decided to take matters into their own hands and make sure that we might be able to own the land we're paying for, that we might even be able to be free, and we might be able to get rid of these turkeys that think they have the right to be our Lord and Masters. And I want you to understand what that is, to the depth at which it goes. I've done the research. I've looked up Agenda 21. I've looked up the long-range plans for it. It's all available online. It's not difficult to find. I suggest everybody do that. The reason being is that these people, to give you an example, wanted to put a majority of the population into shipping containers as your home and consolidate you in areas and then reduce the population accordingly so that they would have a specific number of people left and we wouldn't have all these useless mouths to feed. Now, some of that's been done in terms of psychology already. It's called reduction of action. The reduction of the population is the same as reduction of action. You've heard the story. First it came for them, then it came for them, and then it came for me, and there was nobody left. Well, that's not too far from the truth. What we have managed to do is to convince people, and enough of them, in different areas to side with us because of what had been accomplished in that first project, the notification. That notification covers each and every last form of tie, ties to association, ties through association, ties with anything other than ourselves. We declared ourselves sovereign nations on a state's basis. Because we included the Articles of Confederation, we also have the capability and capacity to act as a unilateral group. This is better known to most people as our country of the United States of America. That is a grouping of different states. Now, whether anybody likes it or not, like I said, you got no rights. That's what Homeland Security was all about. Then to come find out you don't own squat. And then to take it a step further, you can't own anything according to the system that's set up. And there are a variety of reasons for this, but when you understand these facts and understand the impact, then you'll understand my reason for wanting to resist the mess. It wasn't my mess. I didn't make it. I had a bunch of people thought that they owned me who decided to make it. Not just for me, everybody. My decision to resist was the fact that I've been shot at, and I don't like it. But if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. In this case, and what we're looking at ahead of us, from what I understand, this is supposed to be fully peaceful. Well, I can assure you that there are some of these fat cats that do not want to give up their power under any circumstances to anybody, no matter who they might be or what they think about it. Well, that may result in body bags being filled, and I don't mean ours either. Personally, I would not stand against our present modern military. They're extraordinarily proficient at what they do. I'm not as young as I used to be anyway, but the crux of it is this. I have never and will not challenge any of these entities. I don't feel it's my place. I will not try to cause other people to challenge that authority. Now, having authority means that you basically are pulling a rank or a superiority or a control over another person. Only under the circumstances where that person is willing to accept said authority can that authority be exercised. This is where your Illuminati, your bankers, your cabal, whatever you want to call them, has come up against the wall. More and more people every day are hearing this. More and more people every day are waking up, just even a little bit, saying, well, yeah, I don't like the idea of them. Every time I make a little more, they take a little more, and I can't ever seem to get over the top. I can't seem to win. Well, the reason is that it's a stacked deck, and when you play poker against a stacked deck, you're screwed. You get a royal flush, but it won't be diamonds, and the other guy will have the diamond royal flush, and he wins. And that's the way they play the game. One of them. The other one is that you have a lot of legalities out there floating around. People are getting screwed by our justice system. Now, I'm sitting here looking at my computer, and it says, House Republicans vote to cite Holder for contempt in Fast and Furious scandal. Vote of 23-17 to report a contempt resolution against Holder to the full House. Now, other than everything else that these people have done, they have a choice, and I would like to see this choice made correctly. First of all, those who vote favorably for such a contempt charge stand exonerated. The 17 against do not. Those who vote against, justice. And I'm sorry if somebody don't like it, but justice is being served in a squirrely way, but it's getting there. Those who do not support that do not support justice. They support Eric Holder. And he has been proven to me to be a bald-faced liar in this particular instance, because there is a thing that was put out, a page, that showed an invitation to a speech by Eric Holder in 2008 concerning this very issue and the fact that the United States government would like to participate with the Mexican authorities and see if they could catch somebody doing something bad. Some things are not cool. I don't care what people think. Handing a known felon, somebody that's so stoked on drugs or so fearful of their leadership that he'll do anything at all, including pulling triggers, you don't give the turkey a loaded gun. That is not intelligent. However, anyone who goes along with that and assists in it is also guilty because they participated. Everybody's heard of that. It's a simple legal fact, nothing complicated about it. My personal take is that because the Justice Department decided that people who sold guns were responsible for their use and cited them with felonies in terms of people dying and things of that nature, I would also hold Mr. Holder responsible for two provable accounts. There's two weapons that were found at the site of a man's death, and I think those are felonious. Then you have international arms trafficking, and a few other little minor things. Obstruction of justice